The wind howled through the ancient trees, carrying with it an eerie whisper that seemed to beckon from the depths of the forest. Sarah Walker, a young journalist with an insatiable curiosity, had always been drawn to the unknown. So an elaborate weathered envelope arrived on her doorstep, containing an invitation to the long-forgotten DeCrescent Mansion. She couldn't resist. Part 2. The DeCrescent Mansion. The mansion stood as a relic of a bygone era, shrouded in mist and surrounded by overgrown gardens. Its walls bore the scars of time, and the windows were like empty eyes staring into the abyss. As Sarah stepped through the entrance, a sense of foreboding swept over her, but her journalist's instincts drove her forward. Part 3. The enigmatic host. Inside, a dimly lit foyer awaited her. An old grandfather clock ticked methodically, and the air seemed to carry the whispers of countless secrets. A shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, an enigmatic host who introduced himself as Nathaniel DeCrescent, the last of his line. Part 4. A dark legacy. Nathaniel's family had once been revered for their brilliance, but rumors of dark practices had tainted their reputation. He spoke of a curse that had befallen his ancestors, leading to their downfall and the mansion's decline into a place of fear and mystery. Part 5. The haunting begins. As the night deepened, Nathaniel invited Sarah to stay and experience the mansion's secrets firsthand. As Sarah settled into a dimly lit room, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Whispers seemed to echo in the halls, and shadows danced on the walls, creating an atmosphere of suffocating unease. Nathaniel led Sarah through the mansion, revealing rooms that had been untouched for decades. In the dusty library, old books lined the shelves, their pages filled with forbidden knowledge. The portraits of Nathaniel's ancestors seemed to come alive, their gazes following them as they walked. Curiosity led them to a hidden chamber, where a tarnished mirror stood as the centerpiece. Nathaniel explained that it was here that his ancestors had conducted a sinister seance to gain power. Sarah felt a chill as the room grew colder, and an unseen presence seemed to linger just beyond her vision. With each revelation, Sarah felt the tendrils of the mansion's history wrapping around her. She delved into the family's archives, piecing together a chilling puzzle of dark rituals, betrayal, and vengeance. The more she uncovered, the more convinced she became that the curse still clung to the mansion. As Sarah continued her investigation, her nights were filled with haunting visions. She saw glimpses of the past, figures in antique attire dancing in the ballroom, ghostly hands reaching out from the mirrors, and the anguished faces of Nathaniel's ancestors. Sleep-deprived and consumed by her quest, Sarah's grip on reality began to slip. She heard voices in the walls and saw movement in every shadow. Her once rational mind was clouded by the mansion's malevolent aura. One fateful night, as the moon hung heavy in the sky, Nathaniel confessed that there was a way to break the curse, a midnight ritual that required a willing sacrifice. Sarah was torn between her desire for the truth and the growing fear that she had become entangled in the very curse she sought to unravel. As the midnight hour approached, Sarah found herself standing before the mirror in the hidden chamber. The room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and Nathaniel's voice was like a distant echo as he recited the incantation. As the ritual reached its climax, Sarah had a horrifying vision. She witnessed the final moments of Nathaniel's ancestors, trapped between life and death, as their souls were consumed by the curse they had unleashed. The mansion trembled, and Sarah's own scream mingled with the agonized cries of the past. As the vision faded, the mansion seemed to groan with anger, its very walls closing in on Sarah. Panic surged through her veins as she realized that the curse was no longer a distant tale, but a malevolent force that sought to claim her. Reality twisted and contorted around Sarah. The mansion itself seemed to shift, its layout changing with each step she took. Doors led to dead ends, hallways twisted into endless loops, and whispers grew into a cacophony that echoed in her mind. In her desperation, Sarah called out to the spirits that haunted the mansion. Her voice trembled as she begged for mercy, for an end to the torment. Spectral figures materialized around her, faces contorted in anguish, eyes brimming with sorrow. Among the tormented souls, a figure stepped forward, radiating a faint glimmer of hope. It was Nathaniel, his eyes filled with regret and remorse. He revealed the truth behind the curse, a desperate attempt to gain power that had unleashed an unspeakable darkness upon his family. Nathaniel implored Sarah to break the cycle, to sacrifice her own desires for the greater good. With tears in her eyes, she realized that the mansion's curse could only be undone by an act of true selflessness. It was a choice that would forever change her fate. Summoning every ounce of courage, Sarah embraced the role thrust upon her. She stepped into the mirror, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. As the mansion trembled one final time, a blinding light enveloped her. When Sarah woke, she found herself lying on the ground outside the mansion. The sun had risen, dispelling the darkness that had gripped the mansion for centuries. The curse had been broken, and the spirits had finally found peace. As she gazed at the mansion from a distance, Sarah knew that her journey had come to an end. The weight of the past had been lifted, and the echoes of anguish had been replaced with a sense of closure. Sarah carried the memories of her harrowing experience with her, a reminder of the thin veil between the living and the restless spirits of the past. The mansion stood as a testament to the dangers of power and the importance of empathy. With the mansion behind her, Sarah embarked on a new chapter of her life. The scars of her encounter remained, but they served as a reminder of her courage and the bonds she had formed with the spirits who once suffered. Even in the tranquility of her new life, Sarah would occasionally hear faint whispers carried by the wind, a soft thank you from the spirits she had helped find peace. Word of Sarah's encounter spread, turning the mansion into a cautionary tale. Visitors avoided the once-forgotten mansion, and its grounds were left undisturbed by curious souls. However, in the stillness of the night, the mansion's walls seemed to reverberate with the echoes of its dark history. Those who dared to listen closely could still hear the distant whispers of anguish that lingered in the air. Though the mansion's curse had been broken, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that a piece of it remained within her. She had become forever bound to its haunted halls, a guardian of the forgotten stories it held. On occasion, Sarah would return to the mansion's vicinity. She would stand at a distance, her gaze fixed on the place where she had faced her greatest fears. And in the quiet of the night, a single mournful whisper would reach her ears, a reminder that some stories could never truly be forgotten. As the years went by, the mansion continued to stand, a silent sentinel of the past. And though its walls held the secrets of unspeakable horrors, they also held the stories of those who had found redemption and peace. The mansion's story became a part of the town's fabric, a chilling reminder that the world held mysteries beyond human comprehension. It served as a beacon of caution and a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. And so the mansion stood, its history entwined with the fates of those who had crossed its threshold. A place of darkness and despair, but also of courage and redemption. An enduring mystery that whispered its secrets to those who dared to listen.